Welcome, I'm TSC Tyler, and today we are back on NBA 2K23 for something a little bit different, and it's actually suggested from someone who watches the videos on the channel. And I believe the username is just user, but yeah, I appreciate the idea. And if you have an idea, then you can leave it in the comments, and then I'll try to get around to it if I can. The idea is basically giving the top player on each team max offensive stats and then the worst defensive stats. So we took the best player on each team, and then we gave them 99 everything on offense, and then 25 everything on defense. And then we're just going to see how this affects the actual NBA. So, I mean, it's Joel Embiid, Giannis, DeMar, Donovan Mitchell, Tatum, and then I think this is the funniest one, but Kawhi, who's known for being a defensive specialist, just gets his defense stripped away from him. Ja Morant and Trae Young, who are pretty much only offensive players, I would say. It heightens their game. Jimmy Butler becomes pretty good. LeBron's just a straight up 99 now. Dame's, he didn't lose too much defense, but I noticed it's a lot of guards. There's only a few, like Zion's one that'll be really interesting to see. I believe the Jokic is also there too. So it's not too many big men. And then the most interesting one was Bobo, who was an 81 or 2 or something like that. But I thought it'd be more interesting than Paolo, so that was probably the only one where it wasn't the top player on the team. But we're gonna go ahead and sim 2 years. Oh, I messed with their shot tendency and stuff, so they actually put up shots. But we're just gonna go ahead and sim 2 seasons and then see if anything happens. It's just insane. So with taking away the superstar's defense, Luka still wins offense or just MVP, sorry, and he hits almost 50, 100 is almost something that he hit. Yeah, insane numbers, less rebounds because he has his defensive rebounding taken away. Paolo rookie of the year, Jordan Poole 6th man of the year, AD defensive player of the year, and he's probably the best player that didn't have his defensive stats taken away. Halliburton most improved, averages 30, 11, and 5, and his numbers are insane. Spoelstra for the Heat, so Jimmy Butler carries that team then. First team, all people that we took away their defensive stats to. Yeah, so all 3 teams are people that we took away their defensive stats to, except for Anthony Davis. He just sneaks on here. We'll just look at the first team stats. Luka's points per game are insane. Ja averaged 37. Giannis actually got worse, but it's just because the rebounds and the assists are just a big part of his game. He actually did get more assists though. Tatum's numbers stay about the same. Jokic's numbers get better a little bit. Second team, Trae Young. Obviously, he'll have an uptick in production. Halliburton, for sure. Jimmy Butler, yeah, for sure. DeRozan, he's now an elite three-point shooter. Same with Embiid, but his numbers they kind of stayed the same. Same with Cat, actually. He lost his rebounds, so that's interesting. I assume that has to do with Gobert being there, though. LeBron's just way more efficient. Bradley Beal popped off, and then LaMelo popped off. Okay, so looking at the playoffs, anything really crazy? The Kings are the 4 seed, so I mean, that means De'Aaron's doing his thing. I was kind of interested in Zion. Oh, that's kind of crazy. Zion's numbers dropped off. I would have thought his points per game would have gone up, but I guess not. Okay, so looking at the playoffs, Trae Young goes crazy with what he has to work with. Booker does too. I'd say the Trailblazers are probably the most shocking one, as they're the 2 seed. Alright, round 1. The Bucks get eliminated. So the people that make it through, the 5, 8, 3, and 7 seeds on the East. And Memphis beats Golden State, so Ja outplays Curry. So Ja, Luka, Booker, Jokic, Halliburton, Donovan Mitchell, Embiid, and DeRozan. And Halliburton won in 7 against Trae Young. Round 2. First team to make it through is Cleveland. Philly's going to be following them, and then Memphis and Phoenix. So Luka versus Booker, or no, Ja versus Booker. And then in the East, it's Donovan Mitchell versus Embiid. Now, I believe that Cleveland's gonna win this. Just to Jared Allen, maybe not lock up Embiid, but he's going to slow him down, and then Melton's not gonna do anything to Donovan Mitchell. And then in the West, I think I don't know how good Bane is defensively, but I don't think he's that crazy. So I don't know how that's gonna go, but I think it's gonna be Cleveland versus whoever wins in the West. And was I right? I was. Okay, and then Josh swept Devin Booker. So Bane handled him then. Or maybe Ja just dominated. Hold on. No, Bane kind of handled Booker though, because 28 points is not crazy. For having max stats, oh, okay. He popped off one game. But Ja is averaging almost 40 in the playoffs. And then we'll look at over here. Embiid, like I said, he got worked by Jared Allen. And that team's deep enough. Now, who do I think is going to win out of this? They're both solid teams. It's anyone's guess. Cavs take game 1, but Grizzlies take game 2. And they take game 3. And game 4. We'll look at the box score. Donovan dropped 36. Ja dropped 50. The only game the Cavs won, Donovan Mitchell didn't really do all that. So we'll see. Donovan Mitchell has to pop off. And he does. He drops 40. Ja drops 40. So Garland is not playing good defense. All right, game 6. Could be something. Garland just has to play defense, and they drop 50 and a quarter. That has to be it. Yeah, we're going to a game 7. Donovan Mitchell did his thing, and Ja got slowed down a little bit, but bro, he's averaging straight up 40. It's a close game right now. Oh, but the Cavs take a decent lead. Sure. We haven't jumped in a few videos. 5 seconds, it has to go to Ja Morant. He gets the ball. Driving. Midi. Ja just called game. Bro. Game 7 midi for the title, bro. That's nuts. So he gets the ball in the inbounds. He kind of hezzies Garland a little bit here. What's the time on the clock now? Like, what, 3 seconds? Yeah, 3 seconds. Then he decides, screw that, I'm going to drive. Kevin Love does not support Garland here. And Morant just pulls up for... I would say that's not even a midi. That's just a close shot. And he just pulled up for a jumper. Ended another amazing performance. And this time, Mitchell gave it his best, but 31-7 is not the same as 40-10. So the Grizzlies win the championship, which I think that might be the first time I've seen the Grizzlies win a championship like that. So, it's all on Ja, just straight up. But year 2, we'll see if anybody moves. Because I didn't affect contracts in any way, so it would be nice to see if somebody hop teams to try to get a ring. So looking at players, no one actually changed teams, but their shot tendency is very different for some people. I guess Giannis doesn't want to go under the basket when he can just shoot from 3, is what I'm assuming from this. And that's exactly what I thought. No, the biggest thing is that no one changed teams. They just LeBron retired is kind of the main thing. So he retired at a 99. We have Curry, Jokic, Doncic, Ja, Tatum, Giannis, and Embiid that are 99s now. No one moved teams. People's teams got worse. I think Bradley Beal got less help or something. But so we're basically running it back minus LeBron. Kind of a shocker, but Halliburton is your MVP for year 2, and I believe those are worse numbers than what it was the first season from him. Your first team is Halliburton, LaMelo, Giannis, Tatum, and Jokic. All players that had their stats changed. Luka, Ja, Jimmy, Cat, Embiid, same. Cade, first time on this list, but he had his stats changed as well. Yeah, Anthony Davis is the only player that's been on an All-NBA team that hasn't had his stats changed at least. DeMar I thought was gonna do worse because he like degressed a lot or regressed a lot. Shea takes that step up. Those are very good numbers. Defensive team, any surprising people? I guess maybe Chet Holmgren, possibly. But Cade takes that step up. So does Jalen Green. We'll see if it makes a difference. Jaws in a game 7, so we're gonna take a look at that. Most of these series are cleared up though, except for Portland. And I'm not sure who won that series, but if Ja gets eliminated round 1, this would be heartbreaking to see for the champion. It's not a very close game, and Ja scores 45 in a closeout, but Luka scores 53. Luka averaged 42, 6 and 4 or 12. I mean, that's you can't do any more than that. That's absurd. That is absurd. And Luka probably should have had MVP again, if we're being honest. I think they just got some fatigue, maybe, from giving him the award so many times in this game. So we're about 4 games in. Halliburton's up 3-1 on Embiid, and Lillard's up 3-1 on De'Aaron Fox. And then both other series are 2-2. So we're going to look at this Damian Lillard series first. And the Kings win 1 just to stay alive. But the Pacers take care of business and the 76ers are out. And we'll look at a box score just to see exactly how Embiid did. I mean, 26 points I don't think is enough when you are offensive god. Now, and Miles Turner didn't really do anything on Embiid. So, I mean, that's an interesting thing to see as well. Also, Harden shot 3 for 10. So whatever they're doing, like the way they're scheming in these guys to not get violated on defense is kind of sick. Okay, Portland's in, Atlanta's in, and then Ja is in another game 7. This time with Zion. After the first half, he has an okay lead, but it's not for sure. It's like a 5-point lead. Close game, but not close enough. And Ja Morant is out of another game 7 series. Okay, so in the conference finals, Ja Morant somehow makes it through to this point, and Damon Simons kind of powerhouse their way through this. Looking at Halliburton, he's always a solid contender. He also has Kuzma this year, which I didn't realize. Trae Young still has DeJounte Murray. They got Dylan Brooks as well, so they took away someone from Ja Morant's team. And whoa, those series went by way too quick. But Memphis takes out Portland in 5, and Indiana gets swept. So it's the Hawks and the Grizzlies. Josh trying to run it back. Trae Young is just trying to cement himself, and he wins game 1. And for both of these young point guards like guarding each other, you would think they'd do more, because Trae Young dropped 34, which sure, but Ja Morant only dropped 19 on Trae Young. And they win game 2. Ja Morant does more than Trae Young does this game, but Trae Young has that cast around him. And they win game 3. And I don't know where that dog is, but Ja Morant he's going cold against probably one of the worst defenders in the NBA currently. And now he has 25 everything, and he's going to stomp Ja Morant in the finals. And in a sweep, with Trae Young dropping 26 and 19, but Ja Morant does 50 this game. But this is when they got killed. So the Hawks win the championship. Trae Young and Ja Morant are your champions for this experiment. Thank you to user for leaving the comment, and I'll see you all next time.